She said, "I'm dumping you before you embarrass yourself with a proposal," so I walked away. Now her new man cheated with her sister, and she's begging for the peaceful life she threw away. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account because, honestly, I never thought I'd be posting about this. But here I am, a year later, and the whole mess has come full circle in the most ironic way possible. If you're into those stories where loyalty gets trampled and then life serves up some cold, hard justice, buckle up. This is from my perspective, and I'll try to keep it real. No embellishments, just the facts as they hit me. A little over a year ago, I was in what I thought was the perfect relationship. Emily and I had been together for 4 years, starting right after college. I met her at a mutual friend's party. She was this vibrant, ambitious woman studying graphic design, full of dreams about starting her own freelance business. Me? I'm a software developer, steady job, good pay, but nothing flashy. I like that about us. We balanced each other. She brought the creativity, I brought the stability. From the beginning, I was all in. I remember our first big hurdle was when she lost her part-time gig during her last year of school. Tuition was piling up, and she was stressed out of her mind. I picked up extra freelance coding work on weekends, skipped a couple of trips with my buddies, and covered her rent for a few months so she could focus on graduating. "You're my rock," she'd say, curling up next to me on the couch after a long day. Those moments made it all worth it. I sacrificed without a second thought because I saw a future with her, a home, maybe kids down the line. Hell, I even started saving for a ring about 2 years in. By last year, I'd squirreled away enough for something simple but meaningful, a solitaire diamond that screamed forever without being over the top. We'd moved into a small apartment together in the city, nothing fancy, but it felt like ours. I handled most of the bills while she built her portfolio, and in return, she made the place feel alive with her artwork on the walls and home-cooked meals when she wasn't buried in projects. Looking back, there were signs, her staying out late for networking events, getting defensive about her phone, but I chalked it up to stress. I trusted her completely. Why wouldn't I? We'd talked about marriage casually, and she always seemed excited. Someday, she'd say with a wink. That's why, when I finally decided to propose, I wanted it to be right. I confided in her sister, Sarah, about the ring. Sarah and Emily were close, best friends, really. They talked every day, shared everything. I figured Sarah could give me the inside scoop on whether Emily would like the style, maybe even help plan a surprise. I showed her the ring over coffee one afternoon, swearing her to secrecy. "It's perfect for her," Sarah said, eyes lighting up. "She's going to freak out, in a good way." I left that meeting buzzing, planning a quiet dinner at our favorite spot that weekend. Little did I know, that trust was about to blow up in my face. The night before the proposal dinner, Emily came home from work acting off, distant, avoiding eye contact. I suggested we order in and watch a movie, trying to lighten the mood. She sat me down on the couch instead, her face a mix of smugness and pity that I can still picture clearly. My stomach dropped. I knew something was wrong. "Look, we need to talk," she started, crossing her arms. Sarah told me about the ring. She couldn't keep it to herself, said she was too excited or whatever. But honestly, I'm glad she did. It saves us both the awkwardness. I blinked, trying to process. Awkwardness? What do you mean? She rolled her eyes, like I was the one being dense. "Come on, you were going to propose? That's cute, I guess. But I'm not ready for that. Actually, I'm dumping you before you embarrass yourself with some big romantic gesture." I've been thinking about this for a while. My heart was pounding, but I kept my voice steady. Thinking about what exactly? Us. This. She gestured vaguely around the apartment. "You're great on paper, stable job, reliable, all that. But it's boring. I need more excitement, more passion. Jake from my design group, he gets it. We've been seeing each other for a couple of months now. He's creative, spontaneous. Not like you, always playing it safe with your spreadsheets and routines." I felt like the floor had vanished. Jake? The guy she'd mentioned in passing as a colleague. Flashbacks hit me hard. Me staying up late to help her with her portfolio while she was out brainstorming with him. All those times I trusted her stories. But her words twisted it further, like it was my fault. "You really thought I'd say yes?" she continued, her tone dripping with condescension. "I mean marriage? To you? I've outgrown this. You're like a safety net, but I deserve to fly. Jake makes me feel alive. And proposing now? It would have been humiliating for both of us. You on one knee, me having to say no. Better to end it clean." "Outgrown," I echoed, more to myself than her. The ring was burning a hole in my pocket, hidden in my dresser drawer. Part of me wanted to yell, to demand why she'd led me on, but I didn't. I just sat there for a moment, letting the silence stretch. Her smug expression didn't waver. If anything, she looked relieved, like she'd rehearsed this. "So that's it," I finally said, standing up. My voice was calm, even though inside I was reeling. "Yeah, that's it," she replied, shrugging. "I'll pack my stuff tomorrow. You can keep the apartment. Consider it my parting gift. And don't worry, I'll tell everyone it was mutual. No need to make you look bad." I nodded, grabbing my jacket from the hook by the door. "If that's how you feel, then we're done. No begging, no tears, no accusations." I walked out into the night, the door clicking shut behind me like the end of a chapter one hadn't seen coming. I crashed at a buddy's place that night, staring at the ceiling, replaying her words. How could someone I'd given so much to dismiss me like that? The confusion gnawed at me, the unfairness of it all. I'd sacrificed vacations, extra hours at work, even put off my own career moves to support her dreams. And for what? To be called boring, a safety net? The next day, I went back to the apartment while she was out. I packed a suitcase with my essentials, clothes, laptop, a few books, and left my key on the counter. No note, no drama. I transferred the lease to her name quietly through the landlord and set up a new place across town, a small studio that felt empty but mine. I didn't block her right away, but I didn't reach out either. The silence was my armor. That evening, my phone rang. "Sarah." I almost didn't pick up, but curiosity won. "Hey, it's me," she said, her voice tentative but with an edge, like she was doing me a favor. "Emily told me what happened. Look, she's just going through a phase. You were moving too fast with the proposal thing. She needs space to figure herself out." "Figure herself out with Jake?" I asked flatly. Sarah sighed, exasperated. "Come on, don't be like that. She's my sister." I had to tell her about the ring. It was for her own good. You guys were comfortable, but maybe that's not enough. You should talk to her, work it out. Begging a little wouldn't hurt. I felt a flash of anger at her hypocrisy. She'd betrayed my trust, and now she was lecturing me? But I kept it cool. "Thanks for the advice, Sarah. And thanks for the heads up on the ring." I hung up before she could respond, then muted notifications from both of them. Her call just confirmed what I was starting to realize. The whole family had a toxic streak, always twisting things to suit their narrative. In the weeks that followed, the betrayal sat heavy. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, questioning everything. Was I really that predictable? Had I missed the signs because I was too invested? The confusion turned to a quiet ache. The unfairness of pouring my heart into someone who could discard it so casually. I didn't lash out or badmouth her to our mutual friends. I just withdrew, focusing on the basics. Work, gym, a few books on mindfulness that a coworker recommended. Therapy helped too, short sessions where I unpacked the hurt without wallowing. It wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming my peace. Slowly, the fog lifted. I started seeing the breakup as a dodged bullet, but it took time. Days blurred into months of intentional silence, letting the wound heal without her in the picture. It took a while for the dust to settle after that night. The first few weeks were the hardest. The silence in my new studio apartment was deafening. I'd come home from work, drop my bag by the door, and just sit there, staring at the blank walls. No artwork from Emily, no half-finished projects scattered around. Just me and my thoughts. I kept replaying the breakup in my head. Her smug roll of the eyes, the way she called my proposal embarrassing. It stung, not just the betrayal, but the casual cruelty of it. I'd given up so much. Remember that time she wanted to take a design course in another city? I drove her there every weekend for 2 months, handling the gas and hotels out of pocket so she wouldn't stress. And now, I was the one left picking up the pieces. Confusion hit me like waves. Why confide in Sarah, only for her to spill everything? Was the whole family in on some joke I didn't get? The unfairness gnawed at me during long runs in the park or late-night coding sessions. I wasn't angry in an explosive way. It was more a quiet frustration, like realizing you'd been playing a game where the rules were rigged against you. Mutual friends reached out at first, awkward texts like, "Heard about you," and "Emily. Sorry, man." I kept responses short. "Thanks, moving on." I didn't trash her, that wasn't my style. Instead, I threw myself into self-improvement. Signed up for a gym membership, started hiking on weekends. Things I'd put off because they didn't fit our couple routine. Therapy was a game changer. A neutral guy I saw bi-weekly helped me unpack the vulnerability without turning bitter. "You're allowed to feel discarded," he'd say, "but don't let it define you." Months ticked by in that intentional quiet. I got a promotion at work, lead developer on a new project, which meant more responsibility, but also a sense of control I hadn't felt in years. I even started dating casually. Nothing serious, just coffee meetups to remind myself I wasn't boring. The ache faded, replaced by clarity. Emily's betrayal wasn't about me. It was her chasing some illusion of excitement. I stopped checking social media altogether, unfollowing everyone tied to her circle. The silence became my strength, a deliberate choice to detach and rebuild. About 3 months in, the first real attempt at contact came. My phone buzzed with a text from Emily. "Hey, stranger. Been thinking about us lately. Can we grab coffee? I miss our deep talks. No pressure, just catching up." I stared at the screen for a minute, feeling a mix of annoyance and indifference. Part of me wondered if she was already regretting Jake, but I didn't bite. No response. A day later, another. "Come on, don't be like that. We were friends first, right? Let's not end on a bad note." Still nothing from me. Then the calls started. Voicemails at first, her voice casual, but with an undercurrent of need. "Hey, it's me. Sarah said you sounded okay when she called you, but I wanted to check in myself. Things with Jake are fine, but I miss the stability we had. Call me back." Stability? The word made me chuckle bitterly to myself. That's what she'd mocked as boring. I deleted the message without replying. That's when her friends got involved, toxic echoes of her entitlement. One evening, a message from our mutual acquaintance, Lisa. "Emily's been asking about you. She's going through stuff. Be a man and talk to her. Ghosting is immature." Immature? After she'd dumped me to avoid awkwardness? I responded curtly, "Not interested. Please don't contact me about this." Blocked Lisa after that. Then Sarah chimed in again, this time via email, because I'd blocked her number. "You need to man up and give Emily closure. She's hurting too. You know, Jake's not perfect, but neither were you. Family sticks together. Help her sort this out." Her words revealed the hypocrisy. They twisted my trust, and now I owed them. I archived the email without a word. Emily's attempts ramped up, more texts, escalating from casual to pleading. "Please, just one conversation. I think I made a mistake rushing things with Jake." I stayed silent, focusing on my own life. The confusion from those early days had evolved. Now, her outreach felt like noise, irrelevant to the peace I'd carved out. I wasn't sitting around waiting for karma. I was too busy living. Around the 6-month mark, I started hearing whispers through the grapevine. Mutual connections who hadn't picked sides. Emily and Jake had moved in together quickly, all lovey-dovey on social media from what I gathered secondhand. But cracks were showing. Apparently, Jake wasn't the spontaneous creative she'd painted. He was flaky, jumping from gig to gig, leaving her to cover most bills. Then the bomb dropped. Word got around that Jake had been seeing someone else on the side. Not just anyone, Sarah. Emily's own sister. It unfolded like a bad soap opera, but from afar, it felt eerily fitting. Sarah, the one who'd betrayed my secret about the ring, had apparently bonded with Jake over design critiques during Emily's events. One thing led to another, and boom, family dinners turned into screaming matches. Their parents got involved, siding with no one, and the whole unit imploded. Emily was left isolated, crashing on a friend's couch after Jake kicked her out. She lost a big freelance client amid the drama, too distracted to meet deadlines, and suddenly, she was scrambling financially. Mutual friends stopped defending her once the truth spread. Turns out, cheating with family doesn't win sympathy points. Her attempts at reconciliation went from sporadic to desperate. Texts flooded in. "I need to talk. Jake cheated. With Sarah, of all people. My world's falling apart. Please, you're the only one who gets me." No response from me. Then calls, voicemails laced with tears. "How could this happen? Sarah betrayed me. Just like, well, I know I hurt you, but this is worse. I miss what we had. The peace, the reliability. Can we meet?" Peace. The life she'd thrown away. I listened once, then deleted. Her family piled on, toxic as ever. An unpleasant call from their mom. "Emily's a mess because of you walking away like that. Families fix things. Come over and talk sense into her." I hung up mid-sentence. Emily's desperation peaked in a late-night phone call I actually answered. Curiosity, maybe, or just to end it. She picked up immediately, voice shaky. "Thank God you answered. Listen, I screwed up big time. Jake was a mistake. He used me, then went for Sarah. They're together now, and my family's shattered. I can't eat, can't sleep. I want the peaceful life we had back. You were always there for me. Please, let's try again. I'll make it right." Her words dripped with hypocrisy, the same twisted logic she'd used to justify leaving me. Now she craved what she'd dismissed. I kept my tone even, detached. "Emily, that's not my concern anymore." "But it could be," she pressed, desperation turning frantic. "I see now, you were the real deal. Jake's unstable, abusive even in his words. I'm alone, broke. Don't you care?" "No," I said simply. "I've moved on. This call changes nothing." She paused, then anger crept in. "You're heartless. After everything, You just disappear? Fine. Rot in your boring life. You deserve to be alone. I ended the call, blocked her number for good. Her rage showed her true colors, entitled, unrepentant. It didn't faze me. By then, she was just an echo from the past. I focused forward. My job was thriving. I'd taken up photography as a hobby, and I'd met someone new. Mia, a kind, grounded woman who appreciated stability without mocking it. Life felt full, earned. A year after the breakup, I was out at a cozy restaurant downtown, the kind with dim lights and good wine. Mia and I were on a date, laughing over appetizers, talking about a weekend trip we'd planned. That's when I spotted Emily across the room, alone at the bar, looking worn down, nursing a drink. Our eyes met briefly. She froze, then approached our table hesitantly, eyes red like she'd been crying. Mind if I sit for a second? She asked, voice trembling. But she didn't wait, pulling up a chair. I can't believe it's you. I've been thinking about us nonstop. Jake and Sarah, they're engaged now. Can you imagine? My family's cut me off, blaming me for the mess. I'm living in a crappy rental, scraping by. I realize what I lost. You are life. It was peaceful, real. Please, give me another chance. I beg you. Mia glanced at me, confused but composed. Emily's desperation hung in the air, her hypocrisy on full display, begging for the boring she'd ridiculed. I met her gaze calmly, no emotion stirring. Emily, this isn't the time or place. But it could be, she insisted, tears spilling. I see you're with someone. Congrats, I guess, but she's not me. We had history. Don't throw it away. I introduced Mia politely. This is Mia. We're enjoying our evening. Then, firm and definitive. I hope you and your family are able to sort things out. Now, we'd like to get back to our dinner. She blinked, stunned, searching my face for sympathy that wasn't there. That's it. After everything. Yes, I said, turning back to Mia. That's it. She stood, humiliated, and walked away without another word. The public contrast hit hard. Me thriving, her unraveling. That night sealed my freedom. Emily was irrelevant, a closed chapter. I've built something better. Promotion, travel, a genuine connection with Mia. Proposing to her soon feels right, earned. Life's ironic like that. The embarrassing proposal she dodged set me free. If you're reading this, trust the quiet dignity. It pays off. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.